Yo, how's it going, guys? Happy Thursday night. Hope you're all doing well. It's hot again, really, really hot. It feels like coming home now to this game. It's brilliant. Hope you guys are all doing well. The Salted Tortilla Gaming, and I am playing Ken Follett's The Pillars of the Earth, and this is my ninth playthrough. I'm going to go and see the Hamleys. We just had forgotten his name now. Bartholomew. We just met Bartholomew in jail to try to get him to confess to what he had done, and now we're going to go and talk to the Hamleys.
Monk, it's about time you showed up.
Huh? Regan Hamley? We have not been formally introduced.
You are a fool. Is that formal enough for you, Monk? You don't understand any of this, do you?
How
can I help you,
Lady Hamley?
How you let yourself be used by those two greedy bishops, I'll never know. Ugh. Waleran wants the lands of the earldom for himself. Henry knows that. Say something. You don't believe me, do you, Monk?
Doubt her words.
Why would Waleran bring me then?
To plead his case. If Stephen had not believed him, Waleran would have sent you forward. I know you don't trust
Ask
me,
for proof.
but your bishops are
Do you
no
have a way
different
to
from me.
Prove any of this?
Ride with my son, William. Just a few hours. I will prove to you that Waleran will betray you.
All right. I will ride with your son, if only to prove you wrong.
Very well. Maybe you're not a fool, after all. But do not let the bishops see you. William?
I won't. Here we go.
What?
Ride with Father Philip. Do as I said.
I love these bits.
William Hamley declined to tell me where we were heading. He enjoyed keeping me in the dark and forcing me to follow his lead. Sometimes he sped ahead on his warhorse, and it took me some effort to catch up. But sooner or later he would stop and wait, sneering as I rejoined him. On one occasion he stood there urinating against a rock. When I caught up with him, he turned without covering himself.
Ugh.
I found my shock at his shameful behavior comical. He laughed, got back into the saddle, spurred his horse and rode off. Again I followed, hoping this journey had not been another horrible mistake.
Okay. Catching up with William. Ellen's Cave, Hastead, Huntley. Okay.
Near a bridge, I found William with a group of washerwomen. He was shouting at them. When I arrived, I could only hear their replies. They said that they had not seen a girl or a boy fitting his description. A younger, blonde woman said that even if she had seen the girl, she would not tell him. Apparently, she had heard of William Hamley. William grabbed the startled-looking woman by the arm. He shoved his right hand under her skirt. She
Jesus.
started crying. The other women asked William to stop, but were afraid to anger him. William turned and grinned when he saw me approaching.
Arsehole. I told William to get on his horse.
When he heard my words, William's grin faded. He pushed the young woman away. The other women looked at me in a strange way. They must have asked themselves why a monk would ride with such a man as William. We rode off, and William stared at me full of spite. I told him I pitied him. I did not tell him why, because I had no words for it. We did not talk after that. Not for a long time.
I'm not surprised. On to Hastead, making a stop.
William talked to more strangers along the way. First, I believed he was asking for directions. Then I realized that money was changing hands. William was paying these people for information. I was glad that for now he had lost interest in hurting others. Then I saw an old woman pointing William to a bearded man on a horse.
Okay.
William called the man a horse thief. Then he grinned and signaled the puzzled man to get on his horse and ride with him. They rode faster and faster, and I could not hear what more they talked about.
Interesting. keep a distance, so he's spying on him
I
basically
could not
now.
hear much. It seemed the man had agreed on a deal with William.
Overhearing William's
He received a
conversation,
handful
right?
of coins, and before he rode off north, I believed I heard the two mention a name. Aliena. And I prayed that whatever William's plan was, that it would fail.
Aliana the princess.
Then William waved at me to ride faster. I reckoned we had to be close to where Lady Hamley wanted us to go. Not long after, my stomach turned as I realized just where exactly we were bound.
Arrival at Bishop Wolverines. Oh no, back here. Where we stole the hay and the apples. The palace of Bishop Wolverine, by God. Read it in time.
Just a moment.
The snow has fallen.
What?
You know very well that Bishop Waleran is in Winchester now. So what are we doing here?
No idea. Mother never tells me anything. She treats me and Father like damn children. It's a wonder Father ever got to fuck her in the first place. But here I am, and I'm starving. Damn, I'm starving.
Where are you going?
In there.
No.
I'm sure the bishop would want to see me well fed. We won't be staying long, so whatever it is you gotta do, do it fast.
Great animation.
How can I help you? How about you step aside?
Why did Regan Hamley send us here? What is Wolverine's secret? Can we go over here? We can. Would rather leave, but now that I'm here, might as well look around. There is something. Fog is too thick.
What is that?
Warren has a construction site of his own. What is he building out there?
Is this why Regan Hamley thinks that Waleran wants the lands of Shiring for himself? He is the bishop. He can do as he pleases. Perhaps he's
bishop.
just building a guest house. No,
You're in denial.
it's too big for that.
Exactly.
What in the name of Christ is he building out there? What in the name of Christ is he building out there?
What's he building in there? What the hell is he building in there? We have a right to know. Weird. It's so sinister, the atmosphere, man. It's brilliant. Close the gate. Leave the reg. Okay. Uh-oh, they've seen me. I love that music.
You! Please! You were here before, weren't you?
I was?
Yes. I remember you. Philip, isn't it?
Yes.
Please, you have to help me.
What happened?
He forced me to serve him food. He took the Lord's name in vain, and he pushed me and touched me.
Oh, God.
Ah, the monk. Oh. Did the boy call you? So what? Did he ask you for help?
He didn't have to say
I
anything.
didn't have to say anything. I knew you would get us in trouble.
Trouble. Me? We're young men, he and I play rough. So what? I asked you to leave.
And that is what we will do. What will the bishop think of your behavior?
Listen, we're all on the same side here.
We are not.
You, me, him, we're all working for the bishop. He won't mind. I play rough, so what?
It's disrespectful.
We are all
How are you
men of God.
How are you working for the bishop?
You already forgot? I found you, back in Kingsbridge, when I escorted him.
You did not find me.
The bishop and I got talking. We have an understanding.
An understanding about what?
I took Earl's castle for him.
Your parents agreed to arrest Bartholomew because they wanted his earldom.
Who cares what they think? I felled Bartholomew's men with my sword. The old man was begging me for his life. On his knees, he begged me. I did it for the bishop.
What?
But hey, I'm sure you did great things for him as well. You
I
think
pity
my
you.
father...
Keep missing
I
dialogue.
pity you.
Sorry.
Again? You dare to say that again? You pity me. I pity you. You're not a man. Neither of you are.
We are men of God.
A man kills, and a man fucks. And no one
Idiot.
talks down to me. No one!
Shut up.
I know you saw me and that whore at the river. I would have fucked that woman if it hadn't been for you.
And what would that have achieved?
She'd have learnt her lesson. And don't you think I noticed how you spied on me and that horse thief? I should kill you for that. I should. Let me tell you, I will fuck Bartholomew's whore of a daughter. I will fuck her good. I'm a man! Damn it, I'd fuck the boy if that was the only way to put him in his place. Hell, he looks like he'd enjoy it too.
You're no man, you're a beast.
You are not a man. You are a beast.
Oh, I am a man. But yes, there is a beast in me. It hunts and kills like no other. I unleashed it for the bishop. And my sins are forgiven.
Not even God would forgive those sins.
Of course he would. He already did. The bishop told me.
Then the bishop is wrong.
Ooh.
Hey, we're on the same side here. Now, we will stay here a while longer, as I've not finished eating. Shit.
William drove the knife into the table. What if the bishop saw this? Anything else?
If the bishop finds out about this, he will not be pleased.
A greasy plate. William just tossed it away, it seems.
I have to fix this. I have to fix this.
Bishop's cup. William spilt wine all over the table.
And if anyone's name was not found written in the book of life, he was thrown into the lake of fire.
What's that?
It's from the scripture. The end of days.
The second death of the sinners.
Bishop Waleran said that if a sinner stares into the flame, the devil stares back from the lake of fire.
What?
I can't see him.
Me neither.
William's getting nervous.
What's he supposed to look like?
Throw them into the blazing furnace, where there will be weeping.
He's
and
trying to
gnashing-
psychologically undermine him.
What?
Hell. It is a depiction of hell. I told you of heaven and hell once before. Do you remember?
Of course.
The bishop said the relief intimidates even his most impious visitors. They all fear death.
I'm not afraid to die.
Do not fear those who kill the body. Rather fear him who can destroy both soul and body. In hell.
Here we go.
Who's he?
The devil. A fallen angel.
I have nothing to be afraid of.
The cowardly, the unbelieving, the vile, the murderers, the sexually immoral, those who practice magic arts, the idolaters, and all liars. Their souls are the devil's. They will all go to hell.
Stop it! Hell is far away. I'm not afraid.
It looks so alive. Perhaps the artist has actually seen the devil.
Are you afraid? It's just stone. Hell is far away.
Let's try again.
Stop staring at that thing, all right?
Can I do any more?
It looks so alive.
Oh yeah, okay.
Perhaps the artist has actually...
Are you afraid? Hell is far away.
Let's try the fire again.
For some, hell is not that far away.
Uh-oh.
What is it?
We ride back to Winchester. Now!
What happened?
Maybe he saw things to come.
If he continues to
How
act
can
like
I
that,
thank you?
ask about construction sites.
Tell me, what is being built out there?
What?
A substantial construction is underway, it seems.
Yes, but
What is it?
a castle. The bishop is building a castle.
Okay.
A castle? Why a castle?
I don't know. It is not for me to ask or question the bishop.
Of course.
Yes, it is.
And I doubt it's for you to question him either.
All right,
That
smart
man,
mouth.
William, had no idea why you two came here, had he? You came here to spy on the bishop. You brought this man here. Leave! Go!
Uh-oh.
But leave the tableware.
I only wanted to tidy up the table.
Of course. I knew you couldn't be trusted ever since I saw you stealing apples and hay when you
Ah.
first came here.
I messed up, didn't I? Whoops. Later, back in Winchester.
There you are. My son seemed thoughtful when he returned.
That
You
music is
priests
so
and your
awesome.
talk. You always get to him.
He seemed more excited after talking to your bishop, though. Then again, we know Waleran is good with words. Don't we, my husband?
Of course, yes.
Speaking of Waleran, what did you find, monk?
A construction site.
A construction site.
Ah. So Waleran has a building project of his own. Did you also find out what he is building?
A castle.
Yes. He is building a castle for himself. And he used up every stone and every tree on his own lands. He claims he wants Bartholomew's land for your cathedral. But what Waleran wants is a castle.
He's always been like that.
Not long ago, you doubted my word. Do you still doubt me now, Father?
What do you want from me?
As Prior of Kingsbridge, you will agree that my husband shall have the whole earldom of Shiring.
And why would I do you a favor like that?
Because we will support the rebuilding of your cathedral with our stones and our timber.
The king can live up to all of his promises, and Waleran gets nothing.
That is our offer. What do you say?
Agree to a deal.
I agree.
Ah. Did you hear, my husband?
Yes, you said he'd agree.
My husband will let the king know of our agreement. Bishop Waleran will be quite surprised. You will see his true face when he does not get what he wants.
Okay, can I talk to them
No
again?
need. We said all there was to say.
Talk to the bishops. Okay. The bishops. Right. Love that. There they are. Nice and inconspicuous. Bartholomew confessed.
He confessed to everything, but he asks for clemency for his children.
Good. I will let my brother know what we have achieved today once he returns from the hunt.
Good, Philip. You did well.
Provoke Warren and
Would you not
cousin.
rather build a castle, my bishop?
What?
A castle like this, I mean. Do you not find this place remarkable? Winchester Castle?
Of course. It is.
Ask Bartholomew's children.
About Bartholomew's children.
My brother was never one to judge a man by the deeds of his father. Still, I shall mention Bartholomew's request to him.
About Bartholomew's children.
My brother was never one to judge a man by the deeds of his father. Still, I shall mention Bartholomew's request to him.
Okay.
Maybe I should come back tomorrow.
Yes, there is not much a monk can do here.
Yes, your bishop and I will do what we can to help your priory.
Okay.
My loyal subject, Percy Hamley, today becomes the Earl of Shiring. Of the former Earl's possessions, Percy shall have the castle. And all the land that is tenanted to knights, and all farmlands, pastures, forests, and quarries.
Okay.
I swear by all that is holy to be your liegeman, and to fight for you against any other.
My king...
Ah, yes. Of course, I have not forgotten the worries of my bishops. The Earl of Shiring himself, Percy here, solved this problem for me. Thanks to him, I can uphold my promise. Don't worry, Bishop Waleran. Kingsbridge shall be rebuilt. Percy told me of a man here whom my brother has not yet introduced. Come forward, Prior.
My brother, may I present to you Philip of Gwynedd?
My king.
You seem afraid. What are you worried about?
Not worried?
I'm not worried, my king.
And you shouldn't be. Now, about the arrangement between you and Percy Hamley. He told me that he wants to support you in financing timber and stone for your new cathedral.
Right.
I wholeheartedly agree with the plan you two have devised. It shall be done.
It shall be done.
Thank
Now
you.
drink.
Thank you, my lord.
It seems unnecessarily complicated to give the land to the bishop. Percy told me that you, Father Philip, share that sentiment. He told me it was your idea to take up the burden of managing the rebuilding of the cathedral yourself.
Wonderful.
I'm glad that we all were able to help you, Bishop Waleran, in this pressing matter. After all you have done for me.
Thank you, Lord King.
Bit of a trifle.
Bartholomew lost everything in his attempt to end my reign. This morning he was found dead in his cell.
What?
I've heard that you, Prior, worry for his children, Richard and Aliena.
Yes.
While they shall lose their status, their name, and their land, they shall go free, wherever they are.
Cool. Okay, well that's better than nothing.
You must be very proud, Lady Hamley.
Of course. Father Philip has been very understanding in all this.
Yes, he is remarkable. Very remarkable.
My husband and I were terrified when we heard about the
Evil. Evil.
blessing that we can help him and his priory.
You sowed the wind, Philip.
Ooh. What you did. You went to see Bartholomew in his cell, you rode with William to the bishop's palace and uncovered Wolverine's secret. Wolverine's servant thinks you're a thief and is suspicious of your motives. You agreed to a pact with the Hamleys on their terms. Bishop Wolverine believes you betrayed him. Okay. I've made a mess of things. Chapter 7. The Rise of the Hamleys, I think that said. A few weeks later. Well, the cathedral, look, it's being rebuilt.
Is everyone ready? Yes, everyone will be there. But how are we to pray and contemplate like this? I don't dare even to send my choir out there. We shall get used to it, all of us.
We must be thankful for all of this, for each noise, each face that disturbs us here.
Okay. Looks a lot nicer there now, with the
We shall
sun
start
coming
with
in.
the chancel, then gradually work our way from east to west. That's the way it's done, the way I was taught to do it.
Okay.
I value your enthusiasm, my dear Mason.
But
so far we're only cleaning up. I haven't even considered hiring a master builder yet. Neither you nor anyone else.
May I show you some drawings?
By all means.
oh, okay. The outline for the foundation. This is where construction begins, but for a layman it may be hard to comprehend. A frontal view of the church. It's less abstract than the floor plan. Could be a good place to start. The side view of one of the aisle's walls. It helps to understand proportion. Maybe I should begin here. Okay.
You look here first. Imagine you're standing in the centre of the nave, looking at the wall. This is what you see.
Are those windows?
Right, but that's not all. On top are the clear-story windows. The clear story makes up 2/3 of the upper half. It's important that the wall is well proportioned to hold and to look beautiful. On the lowest level are the pillars of the arcade. They're joined by arches making up the bays. Through the archways you can see the windows in the aisle. Shall I go on?
Yes, yes, of course. I was just thinking. Keep going.
The bays of the arcade will all be handled equally, spanning the length of the entire building.
Okay. So now we go into this one.
If you were facing
Camera
the
didn't know where to go.
front wall torn down, you would see it like this.
Interesting. What's that? Coming out from above the entrance?
That's the tower, of course.
I thought so, but why is it right above the nave? Shouldn't it be closer to the transept?
Oh, don't be fooled. The tower is, of course, farther back, but one cannot show depth in a drawing.
Ah, of course. How high will it be?
How high would you like it to be?
How high would you like it to be?
Oh, I am not looking for another Tower of Babel. Just for something modest, yet awe-inspiring.
Yes.
Tell me more about the nave.
Let me know when you've decided on the tower's height.
Well, first, I have to decide if you are even the right man for the job, haven't I?
Ooh.
The nave will be about 32 feet high and will appear even higher.
Drawing the eye heavenward with its loftiness.
Well said. A chamber worthy of God.
I always wondered how walls this high could hold up so well.
The Lord will be satisfied with a nave like this.
That is only for the Lord to know.
Final piece.
When we walk around the site, we mark where the walls will be, the pillars, the doors, and buttresses.
The pillars of
Now,
the
for
earth,
that,
he
we
said
need
it.
a plan like
He
this
said the thing.
to tell us where to place our pegs and strength.
Is this how birds would see our church?
Exactly. I haven't told you everything about the floor plan yet. Here, you can see the transept.
I noticed, yes. It is remarkable how much you can reveal with so few lines.
Thank you, Father. If you have no concerns regarding the transept, I would like to move on.
By all means.
The nave is on the left. It has 6 bays.
And the chancel?
The chancel will have 4 bays.
4 bays and sorbets. What's he doing? What is he doing?
I can see the transept is 2 bays wide, so it will be 12 in total. It does look splendid, but isn't that rather small?
Can you afford to build it bigger?
Well, can you afford to build it bigger?
I have trouble affording it at all. Percy Hamley would support us with timber and stone, but how do we pay the workers? But only God knows if it will be enough. I don't suppose you have any idea how much this would cost.
No more than £3,000.
I know exactly how much this would cost. It would be no more than £3,000.
I've spent the last few weeks working out the annual income of the Priory. Here's the answer. £300 a year.
Oof.
And we spend every penny. Go on now, show me the rest of your drawing.
If you would look at the second drawing again. You recognise the aisles?
Of course, I've been in quite a few churches in my time.
Did you know then that their purpose is to support the nave?
Fascinating. I must say, you do know your craft, Master Builder.
Not many understand the importance of the aisles.
I can imagine.
Right, so
The
just
walls
this one.
of the nave are held by the aisles and buttresses bearing the pressure from the side.
Very interesting. What about the other drawings?
No cathedral could stand without the buttresses and aisles.
Yes, you mentioned that already.
And how I done everything for this?
Let me tell you more about the walls.
Okay.
Starting right in the middle is the tribune gallery.
So I missed some of these the first time round.
Thought into this. I was just wondering... how long would this take to build? You can take your time with that answer.
8 to 10 years with 60 masons, 15 years with 30 masons.
Well, that depends on how many people you employ. If you can afford 60 masons, you could build the whole church at once instead of working from east to west. That might take 8 years, maybe 10.
I wish my monastic officials had your ability to think ahead and calculate. So, I need to find £200 a year. It doesn't sound so bad when you put it that way. You really want to build this cathedral yourself, don't you?
Yes, Father. I want you to appoint me Master Builder.
Why?
Because it gives meaning to a man's life.
Because he wants to give people hope.
Is that so? Then answer me this one last question. If people were to enter your church, what image would they see crowning the tympanum above the entrance? One of Judgment Day to teach people to be good? Or one of paradise to remind them of God's mercy?
Show them hell, so that they're afraid to do bad things.
I'd rather see trees and animals.
Remind them of God's mercy.
It should be the promise of a better life. Therefore, it will show heaven.
Yes.
Milius, is there news of my brother?
No, unfortunately
No.
not. No one has seen or heard from him since the Bishop and Percy Hamley were here.
Papa, will there be statues inside?
Statues?
Oh. That's enough, children. It's time you went out and played.
Okay.
Prior,
Yes?
my first wife, Agnes. She died without a priest, and she's buried in unconsecrated ground. Sometimes a man builds a chapel, or founds a monastery, in the hope that in the afterlife God will remember his piety. I just wonder, do you think my design might serve to protect Agnes's soul?
God no longer asks for blood sacrifices, for the ultimate sacrifice has already been made. But the lesson of Abraham's story is that God demands the best we have to offer, that which is most precious to us. So you must ask yourself, is this design the best thing you could offer?
Except for my children. Yes.
Then rest easy, Tom Builder. God will accept it.
Oh, okay. Contract of employment, inspect. Contract dated February 1st, 1136. I, Philip of Gwynedd, in representation of Kingsbridge Priory, hereby assign Tom Builder as Master Builder for the construction of Kingsbridge Cathedral. The Priory will provide £200 a year to be used wholly for materials and craftsmen. The pace of construction shall be adjusted accordingly and adhere to plans approved by the Prior. In exchange for his work, Tom Builder and his family are to receive a private house and the right to attend all common meals of the Priory. So they have a house. The contract is subject to change with the Priory's financials and give future prospect of additional payment to compensate for the Master Builder's work. Signed, Prior of Philip of Gwynedd and Tom Builder. Okay guys, thank you very much for watching. I'm going to end it here. Oh, that was a good one. I enjoyed that episode. Alright, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good night. Bye.